Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Eddie Harris, and I'm your worship associate today. To everyone joining us, either here in our beautiful sanctuary or online, we are so glad you're here. Whether this is your first time or your 1,000th time, whoever you are and wherever you come from, you are welcome here as you are. We acknowledge that the land upon which our church stands rests on the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee people, the original nations of this land, who continue to call for justice and self-determination. We have a few announcements this morning. First, a very important reminder from our music director, Dr. Jesse Downs. Today is the absolute last chance to buy tickets for the upcoming performance of Cavalleria Rusticana. Tickets will be available in the parish hall immediately following today's service. Please join us for social hour after the service in the parish hall. Today's brunch is a gift to all prepared. Today's brunch is a gift to all prepared by the Grace and We Here and Now covenant groups, and made possible by a donation from the food ministry from Ann and Phil Disick in celebration of their 50th wedding anniversary. Thank you. Please join us in celebration with them. All are welcome. If you are a visitor, or you're new, or you just feel new, please take the time to visit the table with the purple tablecloth to learn more about Unitarian Universalism or just fellowship. And now, let us take a moment to deepen our connections by greeting our neighbors. Say hello to someone you might not even know.
Good morning. If we haven't met, my name is Reverend Bethany Russell-Lowe, and I have the great pleasure and honor of serving as minister of this congregation. Our words for call to worship come from my good friend and also my colleague, Reverend Dr. Samantha Wilson. She writes, "A call to worship is secretly a call to focus our attention. Choosing to focus our attention is countercultural. Daily, we are called to worship at the altars of many devices. Surveillance systems we let take the lead over our every waking moment. We are called by headlines set purely on our activation and by tools that gamify our every human connection. We are not called, we are led. We are not led, we are entrapped. Instead, here we practice being called. We are called to bring our attention to the altar of unpredictable human relatedness. We are called by the ancestors, by this wood, by this room's particular light, by this chalice's particular fire, by these children. We are called to focus all our attention on a foolhardy and open-hearted commitment to share a future together we cannot cancel or control. In the words of the poet-farmer Wendell Berry, we are called here to do something today that does not compute. Come, let us worship together. And will you rise in body or in spirit as your body is wanting to stretch or not this morning? You decide. And say our chalice lighting words. The words are on your screen and in your order of service. We gather in loving community, inspiring one another to transform ourselves, to create a more just and compassionate world. And we are going to sing together this morning. I'm going to teach you this song. It has, you're coming up too. Come on up. Yeah, please. The more the merrier. I'm going to teach you. AV team, can you show me? I can see the screen now. Can you show me what you've shown them? Because I forgot to check in with you before worship. Okay, all right. So here's the thing. If you look at two verses, because these are going to overlap, if you look at two verses or think about the idea of two verses and you get anxious in your body, I'm going to invite you to just sing verse 1. I'm going to teach that to you. Once you've got verse 1, I'm going to start singing verse 2 over it. Maybe my friends up here might do that too. You can join in that only if you want, only if it feels good to your body this morning, okay? All right. Here's how the first one goes. Repeat after me. Sing upon joy. Try that. Sing upon joy. Sing upon grief. Sing upon grief. Sing upon the light of a new budding leaf. Sing upon the light of a new budding leaf. Let's put it all together and we'll just get going. Ready? Sing upon joy. Sing upon grief. Sing upon the light of a new budding leaf. If you know the words, don't look at them. Sing upon joy, sing upon grief, sing upon the light of a new budding leaf. Sing upon joy. What is broke will be mended, what is hurt will be healed. Sing upon the light. What is lost will be found. Sound great. What is broke will be mended. What is hurt will be healed. What is lost will be found, hidden, revealed. What is broke will be mended. What is hurt will be healed. Sing upon the light. What is lost will be found, hidden, revealed.
Good morning, friends. I'm Jess Pond, the Director of Religious Education. Since we have a little bit less floor space here today, I'm just going to read up here and we'll all stay in our pews. And today's story is The Gift of Ramadan. A rainbow of color winked at Sophia as she handed the Ramadan lights to her mama. These were her favorite decorations because they made her feel as though a special guest was coming. Grandma raised an eyebrow. Pretty, she said, pretty and sparkly, just like the heart of a person who fasts. Sophia stopped twirling. Really, she asked. Sophia loved sparkles, glitter, stars, her new ring. It was a gift from Grandma for her birthday last month. Grandma stopped rocking. Really? Sophia knew that fasting was to not eat or drink from sunup to sundown. Sophia loved food, but she also loved sparkles. She turned to her mama. When does Ramadan begin? Mama opened the curtain. Adam, Sophia's little brother, pointed to the sky. Moon, he said. That's right, Mama answered. See how thin it is? Sophia nodded. That's the crescent moon, the beginning of a new month. Tomorrow is the first day of fasting. Count me in, Sophia grinned. Mama woke Sophia when it was so early, not even the sun was awake. Time for suhoor, she sang. Sophia sat down to a breakfast of eggs, fruit, and Dad's pancakes. But Sophia could barely keep her eyes open. You have to eat, Grandma told her. It will chase away the hungries. Sophia reached for a pancake, but a few moments later, whew. Time's up, Dad said. They got up from the table and unrolled the prayer rugs one by one. Sophia tried her best to stay awake, but the moment her head touched the ground, sleep came over her. Mama reached forward to nudge her, but Grandma waved her finger to say, let her sleep. When Sophia woke for the second time, it was almost noon. Her tummy was empty and her throat was dry, but even drinking water was against the rules. So Sophia decided to stay busy. She read for a while. She organized the clothes in her closet from least to most sparkly. And then she drew, but her tummy began to gurgle louder and louder. Shh, Sophia said, I'm drawing. She glanced down at her paper. Yikes, she said, I've got to get out of here. She's drawing every type of food she can think of. Sophia found Adam in front of the TV. In his hand was a humongous cookie. He waved it in front of her face and sang, me, cookie, eat, yummy, yum, yum. Sophia's tummy roared. The cookie looked delicious. Please stop, she said, but Adam kept singing. Sophia clenched her hands. She bit her lip. She wanted to yell. Instead, she ran out of the room. Her brother chased her. Adam was fast, but Sophia was faster. Sophia was so fast, she ran out of breath. She needed to hide. Adam was still looking for her. Sophia turned on the light. Oh no, she thought, I've really got to get out of here. But she couldn't. Adam was stomping by, still singing that song, me, cookie, eat, yummy, yum, yum. She plugged her ears, she closed her eyes. Sophia took a deep breath, and the scent of chocolate filled her nose, because she picked a very bad place to hide in the pantry. What is this? Asked Grandma. Sophia's eyes drifted to the floor. I got too hungry. There, my love. No one expects you to fast for an entire day. Grandma wrapped Sophia in a big hug. There's always tomorrow, and the day after, and the next. You have a full month to keep trying. Sophia twisted her ring. She wiped away her tears. But I wanted to feel sparkly now, she said. You are sparkly, Grandma said. I can see your sparkles growing. Sophia shrugged. She didn't feel sparkly. And did you know, continued Grandma, there are other ways to celebrate Ramadan? Sophia thought about that. She knew Mama read the Quran. Maybe it gave her head sparkles. But Sophia couldn't read it, not on her own. And her dad was always sharing things with family, friends, and strangers. He said that Ramadan was a time for charity, a special kind of sharing for those who need extra help. But Sophia didn't have any money. Sophia was about to give up when she glanced down at Grandma's hands. They were covered in flour. What are you making? She asked. Yummy food for our first iftar, Grandma replied. That's it, Sophia said. If she couldn't fast, then at least she could help prepare dinner for those who did. And I'm going to help. Sophia put on her apron and got to work. She tossed the salad, then she helped Grandma make 5 super sparkly pizzas, one for each member of the family. Sophia thought they were sparkly because they had extra cheese on them. Grandma thought it was the fresh parsley that made them shine. When the oven buzzed, Sophia jumped up from her chair. The pizzas were finally done. But when Grandma opened the oven, smoke billowed out. Oh no, Sophia frowned. The top 3 pizzas were perfect, but the bottom 2 were burnt to a crisp. Grandma plopped down. She looked exhausted. Iftar was just around the corner. Don't worry, Grandma, said Sophia. I've got this. Really? Asked Grandma. Really, said Sophia. Sophia set the table. She gave each person 1 big bowl of soup and 1 salad. She placed a pitcher of water and a bowl of dates on the table. Then she asked Grandma to cut up the 3 perfect pizzas. Tiny slices were better than none. Sophia's family gathered around the table. They raised their hands and offered thanks. Then they each drank water and ate a date. When there was only 1 slice of pizza left, Grandma insisted that Sophia take it. You've earned it. No thanks, Sophia smiled. She didn't want any more. She didn't need any more. Her heart was wonderfully full. And so now, since I'm up here, I'll take advantage and ask the whole congregation, what makes you feel sparkly? Can shout it out? Family. Harper, you want to shout it out? Everything. Successful? Isa? Your little brother? Aw. Well, wonderful friends, let's all go sparkle together up in our classes upstairs.
As we are able to support the work of this church and our wider community, the offering will now gratefully be received. Our reading for meditation this morning is Just Be Here With Me by Morgan de Cecile. Just be here with me, signed, the moon, the stars, your still hot cup of coffee, your daughter, your son, your spouse, your heart, the green grass, the wildflowers, the waters you long to swim in, the color yellow, the color blue, your favorite poem, your favorite blanket, the wind in your hair, the waves of the ocean, the mountain air, your dad, your mom, the rain, the ice cream cone, the butter sizzling with the garlic in the frying pan, the grocery store clerk with the sad, kind eyes, postcards waiting to be sent, the city squirrel, the country squirrel, Jupiter, the photo album, your grandmother's rosary, your favorite song, ink and paper, your best friend, the money in your wallet, the fork in your hand, brushes and paint, downward-facing dog, the color turquoise, the almost invisible shade of pink, God, the skyline, the earth beneath your feet, a hammock, the shade of a giant tree, this moment, right here, right now, your bones, your belly laugh, your breath, your breath, your breath.
We come together each week, sometimes feeling like we're carrying the weight of the world, the weight of it all. We mourn this morning our government's continuing war in Iran, the ensuing loss of life, the fear and chaos from the reckless violence. We lament the recent anti-Semitic attacks on Jewish temples in Michigan and Toronto. We mourn the violence against any person for their religious and cultural identity. We yearn for a world where no one wishes death upon another. We grieve, too, the recent legislative attacks on trans people, gender non-binary folks, their families, limiting the ability of trans and gender non-binary people to live and move freely, to get essential medical care they need. And we rage at the continued kidnapping of our immigrant neighbors and friends. No families should be separated. No one is illegal. We grieve these things and so much more. And also, spring is on the way, believe it or not. The earliest flowers are blooming, deep cold is receding, light is returning, life is being born again. There is joy woven amongst the grief. On our pastoral list this morning, I'll again celebrate Anne and Phil Disick on their 50th wedding anniversary this past Thursday. The beautiful flowers are from your family, Phil and Anne. And your whole family's here today. What a joy. You each have brought your own joys and sorrows, celebrations and griefs. I invite you to give voice to what is taking up the most space on your mind and heart. Now you can say it out loud into the wide embrace of this community or hold it in your mind or heart for a moment. Just be here. Be here with us. Don't push away the hard thing. Don't hoard the good thing. Instead, sing upon this joy. Sing upon this grief. Sing upon the light of all that is emerging among and around us, including that world we are building and the people we are becoming. In gratitude for the strength of a community that can hold all of this and all of us, let us say together, Amen. And we will actually sing together now a hymn from our teal hymnal called Dayuna Naish. The words are Arabic, and I will read the translation of them before our musicians lead us. The lyrics translate to, let us live in peace. Let us live in inner peace. Let us weave our dreams together. Let us die in peace. Will you rise in body or spirit? Do what you need to do if we are singing together. Our reading today is from the poet Kazim Ali. This is from a book they wrote on recounting their Ramadan fast a few years ago. Morning. How easy to be drawn from attention to the world around me. Not wanting to be irritable, I find it almost too much effort to talk to the people around me about quotidian things. Who missed a meeting, who was supposed to sweep the dining room, where the lost keys are. But am I supposed to forget about these things and be a swirl of spiritual attention? If our entire life is on one side, our entire death another, if the entire daylight fast is one side, the entire night another, what if shifting between spiritual attention and physical attention to the facts of the world and the ability to maintain balance is the entire point? Tempting to think so, but I think there is no entire point to fasting, the oddest of puzzles. That which has 101 solutions. Last night, one of the cats knocked over a cup of water onto my books. I was so distraught I could have wept. A day of equipoise and blissing out in the fast did not so much evaporate from me as suddenly stand out in sharp relief to the parts of me that were still very much tied to material existence. Another benefit to the fast, You learn who you are, and then who you really are. And who you really are is not always as close to or as far from who you are as you imagined. But you never really know, do you? But I think one of the tricks I need to learn is how to manage both. As the month progresses, I will have to learn how to fast, how to sweep the dining room, and find the lost keys. That ends our reading. Like Buffalo, New York, the city of Lowell, Massachusetts is a city with a vibrant refugee population. I worked in Lowell for a year in a refugee resettlement agency just out of college. Many of the people we welcomed that year were from Iraq, having fled the war initiated by a prior iteration of our US government the decade before. These Iraqi refugees were doctors and lawyers, nurses and teachers in Iraq, but here in the United States, they could only sometimes find work in the textile factories nearby. They had left everything behind in their home country, but at least in 2010, they found relative safety here in the United States. A woman in her 60s, Salah, had arrived in the United States a year before I started working at that agency. Salah we went into her tiny kitchen in her apartment, and every surface that wasn't the floor was covered in dishes of food. She cleared away a few dishes so we could sit and insisted that we did. As she cooked, her young adult son and some of his friends played cards in the living room right next door. They were joking in Arabic and laughing boisterously the whole time. As I looked over the food, I imagined how hard she must have worked to prepare this grand meal for a dozen people on food stamps and what I knew was a very small, meager stipend from the nonprofit I worked for. Salah poured tea for me and my mother and put the pot aside for her and her family for them to drink when they broke their fast. My mother and I were attempting to be polite and not drink it, but she insisted, literally lifting the glasses to our lips. When the time came to break the fast, Salah took 2 large plates, filled them inches high with food, and handed them to me and my mother. Her son and his friends flowed in, filled their plates with food. Once everything was settled in the living room, some of us on couches, others of us on the floor, Salah looked around and smiled big. And then she went to get her own plate of food. For Muslims, the focus of Ramadan is connecting with their faith and their God. As Kazim Ali wrote in our reading, if our entire life is one side, our entire death another. If the entire daylight fast is one side, the entire night is the other. What if shifting between spiritual attention and physical attention to the facts of the world, the ability to maintain balance is the entire point? When we shift our spiritual attention to worldly attention, many questions arise in us. What is between life and death? Who am I called to be in the world? What can I offer? How can I align my faith and my actions? And these questions lead to personal discovery. Again, the words of the poet, you learn who you are, and then who you really are. And who you really are is not always as close to or as far from who you are as you imagined. But you never really know, do you? The emptying of food and water from one's body that comes with a fast leads to a type of personal and spiritual inventory for many. I'm reminded of some words from the 14th century Persian Sufi poet Rumi, who once wrote something like this. And I say something like this because much of Rumi's writing is translated by Coleman Barks, who doesn't speak or read Persian. So his writings are interpretations, not translations. But here are these words of interpretation of Rumi's writing. There's a hidden sweetness in the stomach's emptiness. We are lutes no more, no less. If the sound box is stuffed full of anything, no music. If the brain and the belly are burning clean with fasting, every moment a new song comes out of the fire. The fog clears and a new energy makes you run up to the steps in front of you. Be emptier and cry like reed instruments cry. Emptier, write secrets with the reed pen. When you're full of food and drink, Satan sits where your spirit should, an ugly metal statue in place of the Kaaba. When you fast, good habits gather like friends who want to help. Much like Rumi, my friend Muhammad once said that Ramadan is his spiritual reset, a time when he empties himself of bad habits, bad patterns, thoughts he's acquired over the past year. And in this emptying, he finds the core of his faith, the core of himself, which is always he finds goodness and love and generosity. I've been interested in the spiritual practice of fasting for a while now. Growing up, my Jewish friends fasted on their high holy days, at least some of the high holy days. In high school, my Muslim friends would sit together at a different table during Ramadan as they held their fast. The practice of abstaining from food fascinated me. And I'll acknowledge that some of this fascination came up because I grew up with easy access to food, never had to worry where a meal was coming from. And I didn't struggle with any disordered eating growing up. If I had grown up other ways, I might not have been so fascinated. The first time I fasted myself, I was in college. I was in a period of exploring Christianity to understand the spiritual roots of Unitarian Universalism. And I did a Lenten fast that year, from sunrise to sunset, abstaining from food and any drink but water between Ash Wednesday and Easter. For those of you who haven't fasted before, days 1 and 2 are like kind of okay. Your body is unhappy at some moments for sure, but it's not awful. Day 3, my body started fighting back. I was hangry on days 4 and 5 and probably not very pleasant to be around, even more than usual. Somewhere between 6, 7, 8, though, I started to get used to the prolonged periods of emptiness. My body ached less, my belly grumbled less. It was during these times that I began to see those glimmers, those sparkles, to feel maybe something of the spiritual aspect of fasting. Hunger became not just a feeling, but an emotion, a spiritual practice. I realized that hunger is not the absence of fullness, but the presence of a desire for something else. Whether that desire be food or a drink, exercise or God. Fasting that year and in some years after helped me put my body back into alignment, put my mind, body, spirit connection back in somewhat order. And breaking my fast each night was a lesson in patience and gratitude. I took time to cook as the days got longer, thinking carefully about what my body was asking for that day. And once the sun went down, I put that food in my body, and I could feel the warmth of it going down to my belly. It was a marvelous feeling, and one I take for granted most days. While this personal experience of fasting was powerful for me, I was missing the aspect of communal fasting that Muslims, Christian, and Jewish siblings sometimes have, because there's no requirement of fasting in Unitarian Universalism, and I'm not saying there should be. So regardless of the personal fulfillment of fasting, it was not something that connected me to my faith, no matter how much it filled my spirit. Some of you have shared during the season of Lent what practices you have this time of year. Reading poetry, spending more time in contemplation, abstaining from social media, always a good one. These modern reclaimings of Lenten fasts and practices feed and refuel our spirits. And still, there's something different about doing something all together as a community. I'm reminded of that feeling I had in Salah's living room, filled with aliveness and joy when I think about the power, the potential power of communal spiritual practice. Without taking or adopting from another spiritual tradition, I wonder what a communal Unitarian Universalist spiritual practice might be. What practice could we do with some regularity that might help us simultaneously connect to our individual spirits and also our collective purpose? What are we already doing that we could just do a little more intentionally? What if we considered marching and demonstrating a communal spiritual practice? What would we do differently if it was? What if our covenant circles and small groups, which so many of us participate in, were a communal spiritual practice? Maybe they already feel that way, but how could that practice deepen? What about when we sing and make music? When we share coffee and tea and juice, when we have lunch or have cookies, how might we understand any moment we have here of creativity and gathering as an opportunity for communal spiritual practice? How would we do all those things differently if they were? What would the goal of Unitarian Universalist communal spiritual practice be too? If I was deciding, it would be to create more belonging for more people. Many of us say that we first resonated with Unitarian Universalism because we can tell we're in a community of like-minded people. We use that phrase, like-minded people. And yet, we celebrate how we need not think alike to love alike, right? There's a dissonance there. What is that about? Who can take up less space in Unitarian Universalism when we assume like-mindedness? My colleague, Reverend Michael Slack, says that Unitarian Universalist communities are at their best when they can create more belonging for more people, when they are, in his words, not like-minded, but like-hearted. I wonder what might shift in us if we understood our purpose in gathering, whenever we gather, however we gather, is to find the likeness in our hearts. The song we'll end our service with helps us align our hearts. It gives us real examples of what it might mean to embrace like-heartedness. We can align our hearts, the song says, to put them in a holy place if we trust the wisdom in each of us. If we tell our stories from deep inside, if we listen with a loving mind, if we share the silence of sacred space and let the God of our heart stir out a response. And sometimes when we sing in the song, I think we miss that when we meet in that like-hearted, holy place, we cannot help but be changed by one another, to be transformed by one another, to see our faces in each other's eyes, to hear our voices in each other's words, to feel the power of each other's faith. The communal spiritual practice of belonging I long for is one that embraces us just as we are, and also says, we all have a little work to do. Let's do it together. We are going to sing now together, friends. It's number 1008 in your teal hymnals, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. The words will also be on the screen, and I invite you to do what your body needs to do as we sing, whether that be stand or sit, dance or sway, even just enjoy the song silently.
Our
Please join me in our chalice extinguishing words. As we extinguish the flame of this chalice, may we carry its light with us into the world in the power of peace, faith, justice, and love. Please be seated. Our benediction this morning is by Reverend Carrie Holly Hurt. Love holds you. Love bears witness to all your inherent dignity and worthiness. It witnesses how you try, succeed, and fail, and it does not flinch. Love will not let go. Love holds all of you.
on those voices.